So this is our painting right here. It's a beautiful cardinal. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a wet into wet background here, using some greens, throwing some blues in, throwing a variety of colors in here. The values, we could go dark here, but I decided to make it light so the bird is darker and it stands out more. If I made this really dark back here, the values would be very close. The highlights of the bird would stand out, but that's not a major part of this painting here. This is light up here and this is dark, but it's not like it's being backlit or something really strong. So I believe this is the best treatment of it right here. So this is all going to be wet into wet. And then I'll come back in with a little masking, and I will mask the little highlight on the eye, and then I'll do some masking around the eye so I can keep that white there. And I'll be doing tiny little dots around it. If you look at the reference picture, you'll see that. And except for that, maybe a couple little spots, but there's really nothing else. I could do some in here, but I can use other techniques to get this wood textured look here without doing it. I try and limit how much I use masking. It always keeps a very sharp edge, and in several places like this you want to have a soft edge, not a hard edge. And so we're just going to negative paint, which means we're going to paint around this up in here, and we'll do the same thing down here by using some techniques and all. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-mix some greens. I'm going to add some blue to it. I'm going to take a little bit of burnt sienna and add to it, because we don't want to have a bright green. The reference picture has a really, I think, terrible bright lime neon green. It doesn't look natural. So we want something that's a little bit more natural. So the color here of the bird is what really stands out. So I'll be mixing them so that when we go on and we add just the water onto here, then the colors will be ready to drop into here. And what I'll do is I will begin by outlining the bird with the water, and then I'll spread out from there. And I may go over it twice to make sure that it's really damp. That will slow the time down that it dries. It also will make more pleasing, soft transitions between all the colors we'll be doing. I may even grab a paper towel like this and wad it up and do a little dabbing to create some, the idea of there being foliage back there. So it's a little broken up instead of being more solid colors. So this is going to be fun. Let's do it. Oh, let me show you the brushes I'll be using. I'll be using a 3/4 brush. This is a nice one. It's an Escoda, and it will hold a lot of water and then paint here. I always want to use the largest brush for the task at hand. Then I'll be using my number 12 brush. This is a nice Kolinsky, and I will start off by outlining around the bird, all that, and then I'll come in and I'll add the water from there. I could even use a bigger brush. Something like this would be appropriate, that once I come in and I get this all outlined, then I can come back in with this and do it also, which actually is not a bad idea. I think I will do that. This is a 1.5 inch brush, and it really goes with the saying, use the largest brush for the task at hand. So, and then I have this. This is a pipette, and it's really handy for getting water and dropping it into the wells and adding some water into here without dipping your brush back and forth. So, let's go.